guys.
Hey.
I have Suzy Q here today. We're doing a collaboration on this dose of positivity. So we welcome her.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Happy Sunday.
So today we decided that we were going to do the topic of how to deal with stress. Because, especially during this pandemic, there's a lot of stress,
Oh,
financial,
yes.
emotional, spiritual, physical, the list goes on. So today, me and Susie, I'm going to let Susie give her 5 ways that she deals with stress, and then I'm going to give mine. So go ahead,
Okay.
Susie.
Thank you for having me today. I appreciate it. For me, I deal with stress a lot. Um, stress on my job, stress with my kids, stress with me just even driving on the street, or sometimes somebody might just say the wrong thing. Well, that's more of aggravation, but
Mhm.
I might dwell on it, and that can stress me out, you know, or somebody will say something, and I'll say, "Who does he think he is?" And I'll go on and on and on in my head.
Mhm.
That is a stress. So I find that for me, praying always helps. And I know a lot of people might not be believers, or they might not pray. You might do other things to de-stress yourself. But for me, I'm just explaining what I do. And so I just want to share a little quote in a booklet that I always read. And it says, if you are stressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. And this you have the power to revoke at any moment. That is a quote from Marcus Aurelius. And it says, in the day and age, we are no strangers to stress, mental tension, worry caused by our problems, and life in general can be a hallmark of daily life. Stress can fuel cancer, shrink the brain, age you. And I
Mhm.
see that in myself. And I told myself, you know what, Suzy Q, you have to stop being stressed. It can prematurely lead to clinical depression, weaken your immune system. Oh my God. And I experienced that. I felt so weak in my body because I'm thinking about my problems. And increase the risk of stroke and heart attack. In short, stress is killing us. And it's so true. And we might think that we're not stressed, but sometimes, one time I went to the doctor, and the doctor evaluated me and all the things I told him. And he says, "You sure you're not stressed?" And I was like, "No, I'm not stressed." And I'm like, why is he asking me that? But stress don't have to be, people like, "Oh, you're stressed out." It's internal also. You're thinking. And it says it is not just the big events in our lives that cause us stress. So I'm just reading along. In the day-to-day grind we put ourselves through, we live in a fast-paced society where it's common to have an overly busy schedule. And that's one thing that stressed me out, is being very busy. So I have to prioritize my time and to know when to do this, when to be on YouTube, when to come off of YouTube, when to go to my bed. And that's another thing that will lead to stress if you're not sleeping. And that happens to me.
Mhm.
We live in a fast-paced society. Day in and day out, we sacrifice ourselves for our job, our friends, our hobbies, and our families. You may be a student trying to work and go to school, a dad trying to work 2 jobs to provide for your family, or stay-at-home mom and cleaning the house, taking the kids to school practices. If stress is killing you slowly, it's time to put on the brakes. And this is how you put on the brakes. It's not God's will for you to live a life full of stress. Talking to me, talking to you. The
Mhm.
Bible tells us that we maintain a sense of peace in our lives. So what we do to break the stress cycle. What do we do? Simply, this is what this word is saying, and I need to get back to it. That's my thing. Simply start your day with a morning devotional. A few minutes of prayer can set the tone for a stress free day. Listening to worship music and meditating on scriptures throughout the day can help you keep your mind sane and maintain a peaceful spirit. Try embarking on your day infused with the peace and joy of God in your heart. It will help you sail right through those potential stressful situations with ease and grace. So that is how I de-stress myself.
Oh, those are very good tips. I agree with every single one of it. It's important to, I think a lot of times when we're stressed out, we just focus on our problems, but you have to remember that there's also a spiritual side to you. There's an emotional, there's a mental, there's a physical. So you have to bring all those things in
Oh my God.
together.
Yes, so true.
Mhm.
So true. And so, you know what, for me, I think I have to get back to that. I feel like when I start doing that, which I do my prayer, but what I've been doing wrong, I've been getting up and doing other things and then praying. And
Right.
that's not how it goes. You have to then get that quiet time first, put God first and
Mhm.
everything else after.
Everything after. Right.
Yeah.
So for me, I think 5 things that helps me to keep my stress down. I have to remind myself that I'm not in control. And I think a lot of times as women, women
Hmm.
who wear so many hats, you have to do this, you have to do that, you do this, you got to do that. I have to remind myself that first I got to be Marlene.
Yeah.
First you got to take care of yourself, and then you can give to somebody else.
True.
So I have to remind myself that I'm not in control, and like you said, prayer. But another thing that is really important for me is that I have to take some time out that's just for me. And then
Oh, yes.
people will say like, "How do you find time for you? I don't even have time to handle what I have." And one of the things is it doesn't have to be where you go out somewhere. It could be 10 minutes in the morning where I just take and I just meditate. I write in my journal. I do something that's
Oh, I
just for
went and
me.
bought my journals. Sorry.
Good. That's okay. Um, yeah, like Susie Q says, she bought her journals. It's so important to journal, well, at least for me. Other people meditate. It's whatever brings you back to your balance, back to your core. So for me, I had to remind myself I'm not in control.
Right.
I have to give it to God, take
Yes.
some time out for me, spend time with other friends or adults, because I feel like sometimes
Going
when
out.
going
Yes.
out,
Oh
yeah.
my
I,
God.
I feel
I'm
like
going to do that this
sometimes
year.
in this pandemic, I feel like you're so isolated. You're in. So
I want
that's
to
what
share
I like.
one thing.
Go
So I
ahead,
do
Susie.
Ubering on the side. And when I went into a restaurant to go pick up a meal, and I know it's pandemic, but everybody's in there eating and they're laughing and they're just, and I was like, it was so noisy. And I was like, in my mind, I was like, this is what I need to do. I need to get out. Just go out there, eat something, if it's a salad or whatever, and just laugh and just talk.
Right.
De-stress
Yeah.
ourselves. Oh my God, I so
Mhm.
need of that.
Yeah.
And you might say you don't have anyone to go with. I'm gonna go and take my kids.
Right. I feel that's what I'm talking about, Susie. I had to remember that I know that it's a pandemic, and while you have to be safe and all of those other things, you still have to normalize your life, and that's so important that I may not be able to get together with all my girlfriends. I said, but video chat, you know, still stay in
Yes.
tune with your friends. That's something that I just started doing again. I started video chatting my friends. If we can't see each other face to face, I could put the phone on it and we could just
Yes.
hang out. Like we'll have dinner together. Like I'll put and I was like, "What you eating?" And we'll sit there, eat and talk, and I'll be laughing.
That's a good
Just like we're
idea.
at a restaurant.
That's a good
So
idea. I'm gonna start doing that.
yeah,
Because you know what? We need each other.
and that's what it goes back to the beginning where I said you're not in control. You have to remember that, and that's what helps you to not get depressed and
Right.
let down and all of these kinds of things and overwhelmed when you're trying to carry things on your own. As humans, we try to carry things on our own, and you
Yes.
can't.
We
There,
can.
yes, you have to take care of certain things, but it's a balance. You have to remember, give it to God, pray about it,
Yes.
meditate, go to the gym, exercise, laugh, humanize your life. You're not a
Oh
robot.
my God, yes.
You're
We
not a
have
robot.
to.
You're not
Don't
a
forget,
robot. You're not a
I
robot.
also have exercise on my channel. I'm
Yes,
looking
you
for
do.
to see you one night.
Yes.
It's late at
Yeah,
night, but
I have to get back in that to that too, Susie, because I'm guilty of it. When I'm stressed out, I go into like this mode. I only think, oh, I need to sleep, but also an important part of yourself is your physical health too. So I have to get back to
and
that
you know,
exercising part too.
some people when they're stressed, they eat a lot. Some
Mhm.
people might not eat.
That's me. I don't eat.
Yeah. Some people might not eat, and some people, I don't know how you sleep when you're stressed, because when I'm stressed, I cannot sleep. But some
Oh,
people, they'll probably go into a pity party and they're in their bed crying all the time. That's a spirit. That's a demonic spirit that want to get you down. So get out
mhm,
of that, because I'm telling you, I was at that state where I was crying all the time and just saying, "Oh, my
mhm,
problems. Nobody cares for me," and the devil's
mhm.
there. Good, keep it up, because
Yeah,
nobody's. This he still ain't gonna care for you. Nobody's gonna
right,
care for you.
right.
So
So
you have to.
I had to learn too, Susie, that when I never go to bed if I'm upset. And there's three ways that helped me to not go to bed upset. One is journaling. If I'm upset, I just go pick up my pen and my notebook and I start
Right.
writing whatever I'm mad about. If that
Wow.
didn't alleviate it, then I go pray about it. If that
Wow.
doesn't work, stretching. I know that a lot of people will discount stretching, but I'm telling you, stress takes out everything that you have going on. If you just stand
Yes.
down and just stress out, and then you feel
Oh,
everything
just stretch.
popping.
Oh,
Yeah, a good stretch.
yes.
Yeah, it makes you feel so good. So
Woo.
I'm
Yes.
telling you, it alleviates a lot of things. And I think I have one more thing that I like to just do something, nice, like regulate yourself as a woman. Do your nails,
Yes. Oh my
do your
gosh.
hair, buy a eyeshadow palette, something that you like to. It doesn't have to be that, but I'm saying something that you like. Do
Get a
something that you
massage.
enjoy. Get a massage. Go do a sport that you enjoy. Buy
This is
yourself a
why
game.
I want this pandemic to be over.
Yeah,
Because you
all
know
of
what?
us.
Can you imagine how much people are stressed right now? How much people
Mhm.
are depressed in their houses because, you know, the pandemic. It will cause so
Right.
much stress on your body. But you have to find other ways. Even go for a walk in your neighborhood. Just get up, put some music on, and walk.
Yeah.
And we're about to get into spring, guys. So this is the time to get back into shape. You know,
Yeah.
let's not say we're gonna do it and don't do it. Start now, like
Right.
today,
Exactly,
tomorrow.
Susie. Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's been everything. Well, there's always a lot more, but the most important thing is to remember that you can get through it. Remind yourself that these things are only temporary. And I think that that helps you to
Trouble
keep your
don't
stress
last
in control.
always.
It won't last always.
That's
Remind
right.
yourself of it, and you are going to get through it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yep. And you know what? Also, encourage yourself, because sometimes we might be able to encourage somebody. I can say to you, Marlene, you need to do this. Marlene, you need, but not until Marlene knows that she needs to do it. I could
Mhm.
tell you so often, but if you don't get up and do it, it's not going
Mhm.
to be done. You know,
Right.
you always have somebody cheering you on. You have to be your own cheerleader at one
Right.
point in your life. You can't just wait for somebody to tell you, well, you know what? You need to get up out the bed and you need to do
Mhm.
something. I'm sure you've been hearing that over and over, but when are we going to do it?
Right. And I would add to that too is that if you know a person is going through a hard time, don't tell somebody what they already know. Tell somebody something that will boost them up. Like tell them, you're a beautiful person. You're going to make it through it. I
Or,
believe
hey,
in
guess
you.
what? Why don't
I
we just
love
go out
you.
and eat somewhere? Because, you know, sometimes
Yeah.
you have somebody always tell you stuff. Oh, I encourage you, my dear, blah, blah, blah. How about you say, let's meet for dinner? Let's go
Mhm.
out and walk, because they might just need you to go with them. You
Yeah.
tell them that, just take them. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Just go with them.
Make them feel good.
Yeah.
Mhm. So
Yes, this is
So
great.
that's been the dose of positivity, guys. I've enjoyed it. Thanks, Susie, for joining me for it. Follow the tips, and I'm sure it's going to help you to keep your stress down.
Yes. Thank you for having me so
Okay.
much. I appreciate it.
Okay, guys. Have a good day.
Be encouraged, be inspired, be yourself, you will survive. Just know it, just breathe it, and be it, and live your best life.
Okay. What time is it? What time